Yeah, hey, we back at it. The Paradigms of Perspective show. We back at it. Come on, boy, Kobe.
Yes, sir.
Zay, as you know, we got our first guest episode. You know,
First
I'm
one.
excited to be here.
Appreciate you for coming on, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
First one.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then we can go from there with the conversation.
I am Bradley Favors. I'm Kobe's cousin. I've been going on for a long time. I'm currently a student athlete at Georgia Tech. I'm on the track and field team there. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Smooth, bro.
Yeah,
real happy to be here.
I'm mad he dropped the cousin line.
Why?
But nah,
He
because
brought his family.
yeah, because it's just like, but he reached out. The way that he reached out was very organic. Actually, he didn't come directly to me.
He hit me up.
Yeah, he really
hit me up.
Zay up. And Zay was like, you know, your cousin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I said, he didn't talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, mind you, I didn't seen this guy numerous amount of times, hasn't said anything to me. We talk, you know what I'm saying, fairly frequently. Yeah, this not like, this is my first cousin.
Yeah.
Like, this is like another brother to me. But just being, he's younger, so some of the things that he saw me grow up and do, and some of the things that I've been able to implement into his life, and he's been able to implement into my life. It's just, we family.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I mean? But he also got his own perspective on life.
Mm-hmm.
He also grew up in a whole different environment with a whole different set of parents. Now, we still got the same grandparents, of course, but like, I'm gonna let him kind of speak on that.
Yeah.
Like, as far as you know, I try to get, as you know, I'm a football player. I try to get him to play football.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, he's
I
too
was not rocking with
fast.
football.
Yeah.
I was not rocking with
Word.
football.
So
I was-
speak a little bit on like your track, like your track background and whatnot. 'Cause I know you do
So I played baseball growing up.
Okay.
I was real big on baseball, but I was also athletic. So I did baseball, basketball. I wanted to do football for a really long time.
Right.
Like they always, every time I would come around for Thanksgiving, they were like, "Bro, go pick up the football." You
Right.
know, Kobe went to Sandy Creek,
Yeah.
and they were like a powerhouse,
Yeah,
and they
facts.
really wanted me to come and play football. But my parents didn't want me to play it, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't like getting hit.
Mhm.
So I was just like, but anyways, I picked up football in 8th grade, and that's when I also picked up track.
Got you.
My football coach just begged me to come out for track.
Yeah.
And I came out and I did really well. And I went to states that year in 8th grade and I won. And
That's
then
crazy.
my high school coach came down to the middle school personally to come and see me and say, look, this is what you need to do. So going into high school, I played all four. I did baseball, basketball, football, and track. And then each year I dropped a sport.
Gotcha.
But that summer, I went to nationals. I went to AAU nationals, USATF nationals, and I won both.
Got you.
So I won both of those. I won freshman of the year. I was All-American.
That's dope.
And that kind of just jump-started my career. So by the time I finished high school, I was a 6-time national champion.
All right, bro, we get it.
12
Like,
time
hey, you're better than me. You're
So,
better.
6-time national champion,
Yo.
12-time national champion. 12-time All-American, 6-time state champion. So I did my thing.
Highly
Did my
decorated
thing.
in the athletic industry.
For sure.
Yeah.
So with high school and college, what's the biggest difference that you've seen in terms of whether it's training, competition, well, of course, competition, but just overall, what's the biggest difference you've seen between the two?
The biggest difference is people of color.
Got you.
I went to Stevens High School, so it's a predominantly black high school.
Okay, yeah.
It was like 99% black, bro. I could count on my 5 fingers how many white people was there.
Word.
But coming to a PWI like Georgia Tech, it was just a different like environment in general. So that was probably the biggest shift. And my first white coach, it's like 60. No, it might be 70.
Yeah.
But I think that's the biggest difference. And then like the you really have to do everything on your own.
Got you.
Like it's like nobody's telling you what to do. Like the stuff that you did in high school, it was kind of like your coach was pushing you to tell you to do it. So the stuff that got you to college,
Right.
like you still have to do it when you're in college. You can't stop doing it.
For sure.
And I think that's where I messed up my freshman year. I just thought it was gonna be like, oh well, I made it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's a lot of people get into that mindset as far as when you go talk about like student athlete, everybody got it. Of course, everybody has the goal. I'm not gonna say everybody, but if you have that drive as a high school athlete, you see others, you know what I'm saying, receiving those scholarships and stuff like that. So you think the end all be all is just to get there. It's almost like your NFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to a certain point. Or that's almost
really
like your
like
Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like let's get to the part of I'm a student athlete in college. But that's
where
really
the work starts,
that's really
bro.
I was gonna say like that's
Surface
really
level.
just the beginning.
Yeah.
That's really just the beginning. As far as, you know, the difference in education, do you think that, well, of course you think Georgia Tech is a school for you, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Do you see any challenges with how you learned from high school and not how you learn now?
Yeah. My high school really didn't push me at all as far as like academics was concerned. So coming to college, like, well, I'm the only kid from Georgia Tech who came. I mean, I'm the only kid from my high school who came to Georgia Tech.
Gotcha.
Like ever?
And the only person before that, she is class of 20, and she was the valedictorian. But outside of that, we're the only two people from my high school that went there.
Jeez.
So like, I knew I was gonna be pushed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was the biggest thing, but like, I would say studying. Like, I'm still trying to learn the hang of that because I never studied in high school because it was just like, pull up the class, do this little test.
But we kind of we talked about that though,
Yeah, for sure.
like in the past episodes, as far as just the education system in general. It's about remembering, and then I think when you go to I'd say a decorated institute like Georgia Tech,
For sure.
it's a little different ball game.
What's your major?
I'm finance with a minor in computer science.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah. And
We're in there.
I'm finance with minor of computer science, and I get some backlash sometimes because, you know, Tech is an engineering school, but what people don't realize is that I'm graduating with a Bachelor of Science of Business Administration. So we still have to take the same classes, the same baseline classes. So I still got to take biology 1 and 2, chemistry, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just finishing up my last class, my last biology class. We have to take 6 to graduate, and I'm a business major.
Jeez.
I took 2 biology classes.
6 biology classes.
Hey, brother, I wouldn't lie.
graduate.
I took 2 biology classes.
So it's ridiculous, and that's what they require.
That's some work. That's some work for sure. As far as I know, you had your Founders Day yesterday.
I was gonna get into that.
I want to ask because I played at the PWI too in Newberry College. What's when you go and link up with other schools? Do you see any difference on like how your chapter is at the PWI versus one of the HBCU? Or is it just like,
I think Georgia Tech. I think chapters in the city are unique because we're all one chapter, essentially. So it's Georgia Tech. You got Morehouse. You got Psi chapter. You got Beta Psi. You got that's Clark Atlanta. You got Georgia State. That's Zeta Theta.
Yeah.
And we include Kennesaw State, 80 New, and then we got K Squared up at West Georgia. So like, it's really no difference in my opinion because we all hang out together, and we actually are called the City Bros. So like all the parties that we had are together. Yeah, it's crazy. So like even yesterday was Founders Day, obviously, and we threw a party together. So it was a pajama jam, hoedown, like it was just insane. Wow. So like I went to bed. I got back to my spot at like 5 yesterday.
Jeez.
So I got a question for both of y'all.
What's up?
Okay, so being a person that is not in the Greek life, right? Y'all can give me y'all political answer, or y'all.
You know what I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you.
Okay, so but nah, you know what I mean. I know certain aspects of it and stuff. What? Well, I got a few questions. So, what drove you to want to be a part of that organization? And I don't want to say what benefits it. I mean, what benefits does it have? But what have you gained from being a part of that organization? So what drove you, and are you gaining anything, or I would say is it are you now gaining something from being in that organization? For like, younger people that want to, maybe pursue
most
that
definitely.
or, you know what I'm saying, spark the interest and things like that.
All right, I'll go first. Well, growing up,
Because y'all from two different, or y'all are in two different organizations.
Yeah. Well, I'll start off. I was in Kappa League.
Word?
I was
That's
in Kappa
hilarious,
League.
bro.
I was in Kappa League,
Anybody
and
know
let me
what
tell
Kappa
you,
League is? That's hilarious.
yeah, I was in Kappa League, and I hated it.
Word.
It was just bad. Like, well, it wasn't even bad. It was just those ideals that they had weren't the same ideals that I had, and it just wasn't my organization.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't something that was pushed on me. But it was one of those only. My mom wanted to introduce me to Greek life, and that was the only one that they had because they didn't have a mentoring program in the area for Omegas.
Gotcha.
So that's what I ended up with. But I think the one thing that stuck out to me was we took a tour to Morehouse, and I was a part of the Decatur alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, the Kappa League program.
Yeah.
And we went there, and I want to say this was in 8th grade. I went, and I just remember like they were beefing. Like they were like the alumni and the people that were on the yard were beefing, and I just didn't like that at all. Like I could tell like they really didn't know each other, and because they didn't know each other, a side of them that really wasn't supposed to be shown to us was shown,
Leaking out,
and I really like that.
And y'all be surprised how often it happens within these.
It happens.
Y'all be thinking it's so like
It happens.
Really, I didn't know that.
But
I didn't even know he was a part of this stuff. So this is all new news to me.
When I got to college, I tried to fill myself out, and I really wasn't even interested in Greek life until I saw it for the first time, because I didn't even know that Georgia Tech had Greek life on the yard, anyways. And a lot of the athletes were Omegas, and I hate to say that, but that's what happened. But the interesting thing about my line is there were no football players. No football players on my line.
Wow.
And
if
it's
you
3
know
athletes.
anything about sports,
All Omegas pledge Q. So
Yeah.
we had my teammate pledge with me, and then we had a baseball player. He's my tail. The rest of them are students, and I think that's the beauty of it.
That's
I think that's the beauty of it, because
that's cool.
we have something in every single department.
I'm about to say
Every single department. So now we can
that's
actually
rare as well.
we can actually like grab the attention of the entire campus, because we have people in those spaces. As far as like how it's benefited me, I would say networking personally. I interned this summer at Southern Company, and it was crazy how many like Omega men I met. And just being around, like if you have on paraphernalia and you're really thoroughly immersed in what it is, you'll go and speak to those people and really get to know them people, and it is just a blessing. It's really a blessing. So,
for sure. What drove me growing up? Kobe know I'm from the hood, so becoming a noob. That's not really some like known in my area, bro. It's just it threw a lot of even my family members off, So
threw a lot of people for a loop.
It did nothing really. I want to say in high school I never talked about it. You know me, I never really talked about so.
And that's why I asked.
Yeah, so when I just got to college, it was just like, I'm gonna throw a curveball at these niggas. I'm gonna throw a curveball at them, bro. So I kind of connect, cause I go off vibe and energy. And the thing about it was, the Qs at my school and the noobs, they both was like taking a liking towards me. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? So it really could have like, based off the chapter, it could have went either way. But yeah, I got to the school, and I was just kind of feeling the vibes out. I was never really the type of person, I'm gonna do this, but it just kind of happened like that. One of my homeboys just like, I'm gonna get online too. So, and it just went from that. Real organic, not forcing nothing, just letting it flow. But like he said, the networking part, bro, is undefeated, bro. It really is undefeated. Yeah, bro. Like
it's really unexplainable.
Yeah,
it's really just an unexplainable thing. Like, Uncle Jason?
Yeah.
So, I was at Southern Company, and I had been there the entire time. And literally, like, the second to last day that I was about to leave, I ran into this bruh, and he said he pledged Eta Omega, which was a chapter that Uncle Jason pledged. And I told him, I said, do you know Uncle Jason? he was Uncle Jason's line brother.
That's crazy.
And spoke at the funeral. He was the chaplain. He was the chaplain at the funeral. He said, "Oh, you were the little boy that was at the front crying the whole time." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Full circle moment." So I called. He had Aunt Erica's number.
Yeah, I'm about to say if he spoke at the funeral.
Yeah, he spoke at the funeral and everything. So it's just like you're really like in Greek life, you're one person removed from like knowing somebody that's in your family or knowing somebody that you know. And just like in general, so
like you said, it's just the network. It's just the connections that you make and the relationships that you build. I think is good for our community as well. It's just to have those positive outlooks on the young generation, or have those positive relationships with the younger generation. Now, of course, from an outsider looking in, I do know that there is some, flaws that can happen, just like in any organization.
Sure.
But for the most part, I really admire the Greek life as far as what they do, especially on college campuses, such as a major PWI or smaller PWI, even at HBCU. I think those organizations play a role, just like the football team plays a role, just like the track team plays a role, just like the administration plays a role. I think that's what
everybody plays their part.
Exactly. It makes a college feel. I know just being a recent college grad and what it's about to be like
you're an old head now.
You say what?
You're an old head now.
Bro, like y'all young cats.
You're old.
Y'all not even young. You like 2 years younger than me.
Bro, I'm 20.
Oh, you like 4 years
I'm
younger
20.
than me. But man, y'all make me feel like I've been, like I said, a year removed from college. Man, good gracious, OG, old head. Like,
that's why I call Quint Uncle Quint now.
That's crazy. Like you you're not that young, brother.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, one thing I will always say, like I try to tell people, especially like neos that's new into it, I always tell them like, bro, don't lead with your letters, bro. Lead with your character. Lead with who you are.
Oh my God,
that's what I was getting to.
If you're a lame before you had your letters, you're gonna be a lame after.
So
like, don't change up. There's plenty. One of my LBs changed up, man.
No,
he's still working on it though.
Yeah,
I've been telling him about himself because like, don't change because of the letters. Don't change because of the letters.
Don't
let the letters change you.
So that plays a role into life as well, though. Like you see, some people, they may have struck gold, and for instance, like they were kind of like moving a certain way or a lane, like, you know what I'm saying? Really not that type of person. Then they get a little money.
Then it's like
you still a lame though, bro. Like you still not gonna get.
It won't matter.
Man,
bro.
You know what I mean?
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, like
it doesn't matter.
Work on your character first. You feel me?
Literally.
And I think that's what I remember, because just talking to Zay like right after he crossed and things of that such. He was just
when
like,
did you cross?
Man,
Fall 18.
Fall 18.
Yeah, so
okay.
I'm about to be 5 years.
Yeah, he was just like, man,
I'm fall 22.
I did this.
Okay,
I'm really proud that I did this, but he was like, hey, I'm
nothing
still the same.
changed,
I'm
I'm still the
people
same
be
person.
Like, on the news, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where you are? I'm like, yeah, bro. I just,
Well, I'm still in my Neo season. Every time you see me, I got something on.
I
I am now licensed.
You 22. Fall 22 or spring 22?
Fall 22.
Fall 22. Yeah.
Fall 22.
Shout
Yeah.
out to the fall lines, man.
Okay, so did y'all see any people around you act different? Of course, y'all feel like y'all didn't change, right? But did the people around y'all start to treat y'all differently? Because
Definitely them first years for sure.
Only thing I can relate to is going to college.
Yeah.
Or only thing I can relate to is like when I was in high school getting scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
People started to kind of like treat you a little different. People start trying to like look at you, or they feel like when you are confident now, or you've been confident, right? But when you are confident, they get to.
They gonna pin it.
You just like that because you got a scholarship now.
Oh.
So did y'all hear any of that? Like, you just like that because you crossed, or like?
I guess I can speak to both aspects, because like, I mean, once I won my first nationals, I was on the front cover of the AAU page.
Okay.
And so people started to try to like, treat me different, and I just was like, bro, I'm still the same guy.
Yeah.
So like, it's they will, but you can't allow it.
Yeah.
You just have to tell them like, bro, I am the same person. I'm just like you. The only difference is I work harder, or like I just do what I need to do to get it done.
But that's real.
So it's just like we can still be the same. Like letters didn't change me. Like none of that stuff changed me. I'm still me. So it's just like you just gotta be true to yourself.
You're right. I did change though, in a better
In a better way, but you still gotta be.
I grew. I did. This situation or this environment didn't change me, or this, you know what I'm saying, this opportunity didn't change me. But you're right though. Like with the level of opportunity or perspective that I have now, I feel I put more priorities on myself. Like I put more responsibilities in my hand and things like that. So I ain't. Am I still the same person? Yes and no. Yeah. I'm still humble as ever. You know what I mean? Like I'm still the person that you can come and talk to. I'm still that friend that you know.
My character at the core is still
the same.
Still a stand-up guy.
Come on now, but
the supporting details around it.
Yeah,
of course,
the experiences that you had.
100.
Like the rappers say, I still pull up
inside.
to the hood.
You know what I'm saying? For sure, bro.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, I don't know. Some people are.
I'm already knowing.
I see it sometimes, right? I see when certain people step into a certain light that they switch up, or not necessarily switch up. I'm glad to see it hasn't changed you and both of y'all as men. I know me personally, I still have some of the relationships with some of the older people that we kind of went to high school with, but not a lot.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
Not a lot.
I think this is like our first time ever meeting. Like in person, yeah.
I think it was one time we was in the car at one time. We was in the black Honda. I remember we picked you up from your crib.
When?
I don't know how I remember this, but I remember we was in the black Honda. You was in the back. It was still that, you know, the two-seater.
I know the two-seater black Honda because I came from Manchester.
We had Scoopy from. I don't know where we went.
Where we was going?
I don't know, but we had picked you up from your house.
There's no way we in the Honda. Mind you, the Honda is like a putt-putt.
No, the Honda was a putt-putt.
I can assure you, bro. I remember this. That's how I remember your It's crazy. It was a minute ago.
That's really wild.
Yeah.
And I just been keeping up with y'all on socials, really.
Yeah.
Well, definitely Zay.
But no, bro. It's only been like we was talking about this before the cameras got on. It's only been about like a year
since you've been off social media.
Yeah. Oh. Since I've been off Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I'm still kind of like on
TikTok.
Snap and TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. But I rarely post.
We don't do Snapchat.
They say that's like the sneaky.
Yeah, we don't do Snapchat no more, man. Snapchat's crazy.
They say it's a sneaky what?
Snapchat is crazy.
Bro, this is another plot of him trying to make.
No, Snapchat is insane. Because like Snapchat is like something that you like. You don't. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. I guess.
I mean, I guess like I have it downloaded specifically for like women ask for Snap, which is insane to me. Like, but
I feel like it's
I keep it for memories though.
It's the organic. I'm about to say it's the organic way. Me personally, I got a lot of memories on there from my college days. I kind of look at. Now, don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to relive them, but I reminisce sometimes. Like, and that's a lot of our old videos was on Snap as well, like in the house and stuff like that, having conversations and stuff. So I keep it for memories. You really not gonna catch me post too much on there. Unless it's a memory. It's kind of like, I say this, it's like our generation's Facebook, just like our parents.
I downloaded Facebook. Still. I'm on Facebook now.
I could never.
Facebook, it's some of the posts.
I'm on Facebook now. But the only reason why is because Georgia Tech made me download. I have to be on every single social media because they post on everything.
Oh, okay.
So like when they repost me or something like that, I have to repost it. So it's like that's something that goes into whatever.
So let's get into that then. What about like name, image, and likeness? How are you?
Oh, brother.
How do you feel about it?
So NIL came in literally my freshman year.
Yeah.
And the coaches really didn't know much about it. So it's a crazy world. It's really a crazy world. Yeah. Our school is sponsored by Adidas, so I have an Adidas NIL deal.
That's really wild. That's really unfair. I don't mess with that. Like that's really I ain't gonna lie. You just saying that kind of irked my soul.
Well, you just missed out, bro.
I just was born too early. Like, be real though. Hey, like, man. Who would have ever thought we would be in this day and age? Now, that's me. That's my little haterade for the moment.
So I have an Adidas NIL deal, and basically all I do is they send me clothes, and I just promo them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally it. And I get to keep the clothes, and then they pay me per month, or with how much people buy off of my link.
Somebody do the meme, bruh.
So it's really just simple. And then we have stuff that spins off of that. So we have this app. It's called Post Game, and Post Game allows for you to get, you know, the opportunities that you need to do whatever. So you just have to meet the qualifications. So like one, maybe like, oh, you have to have a minimum of 3,500 followers, and you can post this. So I did one with Hoka. And they just sent me some shoes. The Hoka shoes. I did Hoka and Merrill.
Got you.
And basically all I did was just like, they had this like time trial type of thing. So I ran like a 2-mile time trial and posted it, and then like recorded myself running in the shoes. And they just gave me like, I think I had a deal for like 3 months. I got like maybe 1,500 from that. So
that's smooth.
yeah, it's
that
really.
make you want to stay in college forever.
No, it really does. It really does.
That's why they like Angel Reese and all them, like, I ain't
what's
never
the point of
she
leaving?
like, man,
Oh, she's pretty bad now though. She needs to work on her game. She
Yeah.
you know they lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, I seen they said she was on the world tour a little too much.
Yeah.
She'll probably
I think so. And a different aspect of it, I think that shows you kind of the young-minded aspect of it, as far as, you know, you're a younger person and you're making this amount of money. You have this voice. You have the attention on you now, and right. So you want to live your best life.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, now this is from the outside looking in. I don't know how much work she puts in. I can't tell you how much she was training while she was going all these places.
Right.
But from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like you were doing all that before y'all won that national championship.
Right.
So you gotta, it tests your mental as a young person, because you gotta keep that same grind back. You know what I mean? That same grind about you. But I also understand though, like, the grind got you to where you got the following, right? But at the same time, posting on TikTok, going to these different events, like showing yourself and being in the media, also got you that bag.
Yeah.
Because in essence, some of them NIL deals, like you said, you gotta have 3,500 followers.
Oh,
you
man.
gotta, like, minimum.
And so you got to think about it. I'm a track athlete. Track doesn't even have that much of a following like
exactly.
like football, like
Yeah.
football does or basketball does.
Exactly.
Man, I got some of my friends, bro. They're making 6 figures right now. Like the starting quarterback, he's making 6 figures easily. He got NIL deals from wherever. And then that transfer that we had, Jahmyr Gibbs, he transferred from Georgia Tech to Alabama. Boy,
Man.
Alabama. And now he's starting that with the Lions.
I had a couple friends that transferred to Alabama, and they say that, well, before even the NIL started, they say the Alabama bag hit different.
It does hit different.
So
it definitely does hit different.
NIL definitely.
I wanted to ask you, so with the whole track thing and not having that much publicity behind it, I'll be telling people, like, if track turned into somewhat like a festival, where like the track meets would be like something like a festival, what do you think would that do for the sport? Because, you know, certain vendors pulling up, food trucks, concerts. So, you know, because a lot of people, when they come to the meets, they usually just coming to watch 1 or 2, 100, 200, 400 maybe. And those races don't last that long. So, you know, just an idea to keep people interested within the sport and
just to
even
keep them there.
Keep them there, exactly. The longer you're there, the more you're bound to
they're
spend
still
money.
They're still trying to figure that out. I just saw a post that they're trying to do like an influencer like type of thing where they like a lot of the big name athletes like Noah Lyles and all them. They're trying to get them to, like, you know, like they have YouTube channels and stuff. Well, they're trying to make content to make it more pure, make it just like more, I don't know, lucrative in a sense, because it doesn't. Football is appealing, basketball is appealing. Track is really not that appealing.
I think they're trying to be too traditional with it. It's like,
you have to like go off to the different avenues.
I would go as far as say is the untraditional Sha'Carri Richardson. Like, having her in the sport gets the attention, right? So allow people to be themselves while in the sport. You you almost want some of those ludicrous characters. Or
Yeah, she's like one of the biggest names in track and field right now.
You want some of those people that are flashy, so it can get more people to the sport. You want, but
people who don't even like track is go and watch it.
I will watch women's track, especially if she's
women's
running.
track is a work of art, bro. Like,
for sure.
If you ever seen them, running, like when they slow it down, bro.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Like not even in a sexual way, bro, but like it's like
but no, I see what you're saying.
Beautiful, bro.
But we've had conversations though. Like to me, I love women, athletic women, only because it athlete is such a masculine term, right? Oh, you're an athlete. Like it's such it has that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you must be talking about a man. But a woman that's an athlete, I think it takes more drive, more focus, and more attention to detail.
Yeah.
So it like I said, it needs those dramatic characters in track. You need that. So I think a good idea, just like you said, making it a festival, making it not so exclusive as well.
Yeah, it's a real exclusive thing.
Like,
oh man, they never we can't ever get publicity on like the main channel of ESPN. Like there's always some type of subscription that you have to pay to watch track athletes. And I don't like that.
It's a subscription you got to pay to look at the track numbers. Just even look at
or just for like even for me, like the Kobe be hitting me up talking about like, hey, why when you run, let me know. Yeah. Bro, it's on ESPN Plus. Who has ESPN Plus or like ACC Network, Big Ten Network? They're never on like ESPN. The only track meet that for college athletes that's on ESPN is the big one, like Nationals. Yeah. And I ain't made it there yet. Yeah. But
or I think like pin relays and stuff like that. Yeah. Making that like you said, an event.
That's crazy that you even know about that. Yeah. Pin relays is huge.
Come on now. Hey, listen now. For sure. I'm into sports.
Because if people really watch track, let's just break it down to we talk about the women, bro. There's some of the most beautiful women in the athletic realm. It's just so easily marketable. So it's like I'm like, bro, track is fumbling a bag on a professional level. They're fumbling a bag because it's just when you take from that to even where you can just have athletes having their own merch. Yeah, it's just this. I need to know if track even has an athletes committee to where they're allowing athletes to put their input in, or you know what I'm saying? Because it's just that would be a huge thing. Because like we said, just feel like they're trying to be way too traditional with it. And just bro, everything else is transcendent, bro. The sport is gonna get left behind. The biggest publicity they got recently was when Noah Lyles spoke on the NBA. You know what I'm saying?
And that's like him speaking on another, like, you know what I mean?
It shouldn't have to be like that. That should be the publicity at all times. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's just interesting, bro. Because I've taken a huge liking to track, so I want to see those. I want to see the sport.
Man, that makes me happy,
bro. Yeah,
that makes me real happy.
Yeah, I love track. So
because I walk around tech. And they'll be like, I just walk around tech, and they just automatically think I'm football. Automatically.
Sure.
Automatically. So sometimes I'm just like, oh, well, yeah.
You'll go with it almost. Like,
like whatever.
Because I got to then explain to you that you know what I mean?
I run track. And I like, brother.
What event?
So what we didn't even get into that. What events do you run?
I run the 100, 200, 400.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
do you like indoor or outdoor better?
Outdoor, 100%. Gotcha, okay. I do not like indoor, especially like I'm kind of tall.
Curves,
like the raised banks, it really like forces you to like get down into it. So those more advantage like short, stocky sprinters. Gotcha. Like you would probably be great if you had the build and you know what I'm saying, if you train for it. But like me and Kobe, oh man, it's hard. My first time running at on an indoor bank, I ran at Clemson, and I literally fell. Like when you're on the bank, you're like,
it kind of goes up like that.
Yeah, you're like sideways, and
it's like that, like the Daytona 500, like when they got the banks.
It's crazy. So, and I was in high school when I did it, so I didn't even have a chance to like practice. So my first time getting there, I thought it was gonna be like an indoor track, and it wasn't. So I mean, an outdoor track, and it wasn't. And my mom sat up there, recorded me, and I literally tripped. Came in dead last. I came in last place.
Oh, during the race, I'm thinking you like
no. This was like my first time going to run at an indoor track was for a race. Yeah. So I got on the line, and I fell out the blocks, and I fell, and I got up and ran, and I came in last.
And that's something you'll never forget.
I'm
Though.
about to say, though,
Ever forget.
So with your injury, bro, I know you had you was recovering from an injury recently.
Yes,
so
yes.
Like, how did that kind of affect you mentally, and how were you able to bounce back from that? Mental health, like injuries and mental health is
so this was my second surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I had surgery when I got there freshman year, and the original injury happened from football, which is another reason why I quit. Because like I was like, man, if track is really what I want to do, and track is going to get me to the next level and pay for my school, why am I risking my body and risking injury, and I don't even want to do it? Yeah. But I think the biggest thing is just it made me slow down. Mm-hmm. I never really had an identity outside of sports prior to my injury.
Got you.
And that was the first time where I had to sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
Like I was really just idle in my room at college. Mm-hmm. Really didn't know what to do, how to, you know what I'm saying? So I really tapped into like other aspects of my life, especially like being smart. Mm-hmm. So really getting into academics, like being smart, get into academics.
Yeah,
so and really trying to figure out, okay, well, it made me sit down and think like, dang, sports really isn't going to be forever. So what's the next step? Yeah. So I really started getting into like internships and trying to figure out like what it is that I want to do after school, and not even that, like having the experience. Yeah. Just so like I still don't know what I want to do yet, but I have an internship under my belt and it goes on my resume, and now I know that like I can be in a setting outside of sports. For sure. My first internship was crazy. That was the first time where I was just like sitting in the office, like a 9-to-5, a real deal 9-to-5. Yeah. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm growing up.
I'm growing up. You getting old. Old head.
No. Old head. So like I would get up in the morning, and then so this was last summer. I would get up in the morning at 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. I would go practice. I would go to the locker room, shower, go to work. So I would be up before my parents get up. And then after work, I would have to work out again. Mm-hmm. So I got off at like, I would say 3:30, 4 o'clock. I would go work out again. And then I would get home. But now I'm in rush hour traffic. So now I'm not getting home till 8 p.m.
Rush hour traffic.
So you ladies that think y'all want to date a student athlete and one that's at a bigger school, well, that's a schedule he's dealing with.
Well, I'll say this, though. If you really want the girl,
you'll make something happen.
You'll make something happen. I made time. I went to go see my girl on her lunch break. On my lunch break, I would go spend time with her.
When he wants to,
anytime.
he will.
When he wants to, he will.
And that's real though.
It's for real.
Man.
Like if you want to, you really will.
You know what I'm saying?
He will though.
All my free time, not all of my free time, but I really wanted to be with her. I really wanted to be with her.
Big cousin gonna step in real quick.
It's not all my free time, but like I'll be like, hey, like we can go study together because like we go study together, we could go do this.
But it's finding effective ways to spend time with each other, but also be productive.
Yes. So, but like back to what I was saying, at 8 p.m. I was getting home. Parents didn't cook. Oh, you gotta cook. Oh,
no.
But yeah, it's just
it was different.
It was different. So I really do appreciate my injuries. I really do. I really do appreciate them.
So me being a person, personally, or being a person that has dealt with injuries. So much like you, my freshman year, right before my first game, I got injured. And I know a lot of people there's different aspects or there's different perspectives of this, right? There's different perspectives of some people and a lot of successful people in the sport that I played, which is football. They say I didn't have no backup plan, or I didn't know who I was. I needed football, right? I needed the sport. Some people have that perspective, and it takes them further, and it takes them into the professional realm. I know people that have made it to the professional realm and also knew what they wanted to do outside of the sport, outside of the profession. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it does end someday. It's not the end all be all. I think as an athlete, you have to kind of find a balance, right? You have to be obsessed with it to the fact that you want to be great at it.
Yeah.
But you also have to know that you have to take that obsession somewhere else once that ends. So you have to have somewhere to place that obsession, that drive, that focus, that competitive spirit to, make sure you living longer in life. Make sure your money right and things of that such. So I ain't gonna say I'm glad I got you injured, but I'm glad you got to explore those options before who knows when track may end, or who knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it gets to the point where it's too late. Because I've seen a lot of my friends and a lot of my ex-teammates, my old teammates,
They
deal
ruin
with.
a lot of people mental.
I just seen them deal with depression right after the sport.
Yeah.
Like,
It's real.
And I wouldn't lie, I went through it myself. As far as like, you go from.
Doing that every day from
I
like
mean,
6
something
What do you
every
do
day,
now?
but it's
5.
not even, to me, it wasn't even the doing it every day, because I love football and I play football whenever, do whatever, right? I do whatever it takes. It was the schedule.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I went from
the structure.
Yeah,
The structure.
Yeah, the
Facts.
structure. The
Yes,
structure
yes.
killed
Big
me.
facts.
Like the when I got hurt,
Mhm.
I didn't have nowhere to be. All I had to do was go to therapy.
Go to
When
therapy, go to class. But you couldn't
I
even
really
go to
didn't-
class.
I'm about to say I really didn't have to go to class because I had a doctor's excuse.
Yeah.
So at this point now, like, and I saw that early on my freshman year that I had trouble with that. So I knew once I got out of college that was gonna be a weak point that I wanted to get stronger, because I wanted it. I'm a guy of structure. So now I got some sort of structure in my life. I got some sort of like
You gotta think of it like this. You got the 6 a.m. You got 6 a.m. lift, right? After the 6 a.m. lift, you got therapy. After therapy, you got 3 classes.
Facts.
After class, you got practice, because weights is not practice.
Nah,
So then you
Nah,
got
it's not.
practice, and then you got treatment. You got study hall.
I'm about to say
So-
study hall.
so then you got
and
study
then you
hall.
got to work in meals in between all that.
Yep.
Man, this is not talk about cleanliness and things of that such. So it was a lot of structure in the student athlete world. But I feel like, you know, get next to somebody that you really trust, and then you'll find your way.
Yeah, but also I think one thing that messed me up was getting an internship, and I started touching a little bit of money.
You started to see that.
Like
Money.
some like I mean, obviously I get money from, you know what I'm saying,
NILs and stuff
NIL
like
deals
that.
and sports and stuff, but
Yeah.
I had a steady income for the first time in
Yeah.
my life.
And that
I was
junk,
getting
dude.
paid every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was only like maybe 2,000, 1,500, anywhere in between there.
Yeah.
But still I had it every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
it
could
felt-
depend on it.
And
But see,
it felt great.
But even
It
with
felt great.
Even to the point of like what we was talking about, the structure, because I had left the team before I even graduated. I had, just because it was, I knew my worth, bro. So I was like, I can't do it no more.
Yeah.
So, but I had a roommate who was a starting receiver, and just like hearing him get up in the morning while I'm like not going to the morning workouts, like, bro, that drive in me is like, bro. But that's why I always kept working out. But just like having that structure and that being taken away, and then me going into entrepreneurship, I had to really be on myself. Like, bro, you gotta, any entrepreneur know, like, you gotta be boom, 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 boom. Nobody's telling you to, you know what I'm
You
saying?
gotta create your own structure,
you
your
have
own
to,
system.
You have to, bro. You have to abide by, you have to respect the structure you've created, because people think, like, entrepreneur, oh, you get to sell clothes, you get to this and that, but you gotta do things at a certain time. You have to allot certain time periods for you to do it, for you to,
Still a
you know, to
system.
implement and follow through with your plan, bro. It's definitely, I'm glad I've been able to create my own structure, because a lot of people aren't able to do that. So it's a gift to be able to do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I
So
agree.
any questions you got for us, bro? Like,
I want to ask, like, what was the, like, obviously my college experiences were different from y'all's. So I would say, like, what was, like,
Dude, we're not that old, bro.
not even that, but like it's still a
yeah,
different, it's still a different time.
Yeah,
So
still
like,
different. No, for sure it is, bro. Even,
Dude, we're
no,
not that
but, like,
old, bro.
Bro, stop getting on me about that.
realize, though,
Nah.
but like even with like that small age, it's a lot of
It
differences.
is.
between us
It's
and
a
them,
lot of
bro.
differences.
It's a
So
lot.
I would say, me personally, so I'm gonna have a different college experience than both of y'all. because
Oh, you
I
went to
HBCU.
so it's a little bit different.
That boy was wild.
Yeah, Them boys, yeah, that thing, yeah. But nah, I would say from what I see now to when I was in college, one of the bigger differences is that now student athletes get paid, or the shift in money. I would say y'all do some of the same things, listen to some of the same
Just in
music.
different ways. Like,
Yeah.
mannerisms would kind of be the same.
Exactly. I would say certain access to things we didn't have
Yeah.
as much as y'all.
okay,
The same
So-
way with previous generations and us. Like, it's
So let's say social media is just heightened, right? So if you got a face on social media, you could be 21 and get in the club and get 10 folks in you behind the club. we trying to figure out how to get fake IDs.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we trying, you know what I mean? Like if you're an influencer or like, you know what I'm saying, you known kind of like around the world, like, you know.
it was crazy.
you
I
could
never
do-
had a fake ID. I just know people and I just
Yeah.
get in.
Yeah.
So it's
Like I said, we trying to figure out how to
For sure.
get, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and that's all I'm gonna say as far as the differences. Education wise, it's about the same. What I would like to see college grow into more is the preparation for the real world.
Yeah.
tight.
It's like the overall curriculum.
it's a
Like, 'cause we
bubble.
talked about it before. It's just we feel like that colleges they test you to remember things. They not really testing your creativity. They're not doing this. Okay, look, create this business plan or create this financial layout instead of me just giving you this test on these concepts that has been passed down for years. Let me see how your brain is thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then you're pulling out a side of a person that they didn't even know they had in certain levels of knowledge that they didn't know they had. If you don't ask them those questions or
Right.
tap into that side of the brain. So
Yeah.
the curriculum is definitely something I think should change. But differences, like we said, social media, bro. Everybody think they the one,
Come
and
on, man.
I'm all for self confidence. Like,
Yeah.
you should feel, but sometimes it can get a little unhealthy for your individual. So, that's probably the main thing. But
Yeah.
we different in some things with the younger generation, but it's a lot of similarities, bro. It's just
There's a lot of similarities.
we do things
And
different.
then I say my second question is, what advice do y'all have for me? And I know I hear this a lot from Kobe, but I'm still asking on here.
Yeah.
And
What
yeah.
advice do y'all have for me, especially now that I'm about to graduate?
When you
Leaving.
graduating?
I'm graduating fall 24.
Okay.
I'm going back for my master's though, because I have like college eligibility left
Gotcha.
for my sport.
Okay.
So I'll probably have 2 years left. So I'll get my master's. But
Smooth.
like, what advice do y'all have for me, like going into that realm,
Of post graduation.
post graduation, and like preparation for like, I guess
end of-
real life.
Oh, ooh.
I guess real life.
I say like we was talking about with your injury. Like spend a lot of time by yourself, bro. And I think that's where a lot of people mess up when they get away from that structured system. Like, cause college is kind of like a community. It's like a
It's like a bubble.
It's like a in a sense a false community because it's not really where you from. So it's like a people from different
Facts.
areas, come together
Yeah.
for a community. So when people step away from being in that community all the time, they try to hurry up and run to another community to, fill that void of people not being there. So the best thing you can do, in my opinion, is what I did. Like, spend a lot of time by yourself. Like, I distance myself from a lot of people after college. It wasn't nothing personal. It's just
You had to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, I see what you're
Okay.
on, and I see what I'm trying to get to. I got to spend this time by myself to continue to learn myself, and just really self-knowledge and understanding who you're trying to become and not who you was, because you know who you was because you lived that already. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So for you to really know who you want to become, you got to spend that time by yourself. That's my
I would say, as far as, so you in college, so I would give you advice, me personally, and I tell you this all the time, like live your college dream out
For
right
sure.
now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, immerse yourself in the college bubble, but also know that there is life afterwards.
Don't get lost in it.
I think a lot of people that we grew up with, a lot of people that we've seen throughout our college careers, throughout our high school careers, they feel like that is the end all be all. I think you do a great job just by me talking to you, not only as as family, but as an individual. You do a great job of knowing there's more to it, and not
For sure.
just being
Yeah.
a student athlete. So you being able to even come on this platform it shows your interest. It shows your interest in different things. This may not be what you want to do. This might not be,
I can knock it off my bucket list though.
Yeah,
This is my
for
first
sure.
podcast.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This not, so just tap into those different areas of interest while you still have time, while you're still in the community that they're providing for you or that you provided for yourself, honestly, through your talents and your hard work. Start to tap into those interests, and so that you have somewhat of an idea of who you are outside of the student athlete. Because sometimes the student athlete takes so much of you, it takes so much of your time that you don't know who you really are. Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't know who they really are. So I think, like I said, you're doing a great job by, like you said, coming on this platform. Not only because it's family, but you join an organization. You've done an internship. Those little things start to mold. You have an idea. Either you like it or you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know you like it. You don't. You know you don't like it. Like I probably should have did this. I probably shouldn't have did that. I think doing that, but also making sure that, like I said, enjoy the college time. It's one of the best times of my life. It's probably second best time of my life. I think high school was best.
High school was smooth, bro.
It was one of the best times. But I don't. Isn't.
Don't get lost in it.
Yeah, don't get lost in the sauce. What Gucci say? What Gucci say, man? You can get lost in the sauce.
Oh, I did get lost a little bit. Oh, what was it? Last semester? Oh, my grades.
Yeah, slipping. Don't do that.
You know,
your mama gonna come sit me down there.
You know what mama did? Oh, I went home this summer and
mama gonna sit me down there to Draymond Green you.
Yeah, but you bounced back though.
Yeah, I did. I've been doing well.
You lost your way, but you didn't get lost. So,
yeah, I get too lost.
Appreciate you for coming on, bro. It's a pleasure having you, bro.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. So this has been another episode of the Paradigm Perspective Show. I'm your boy Zay.
Cole.
Hey, man. We catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
W's.
Yo.